Hi, once again I welcome you to the world of insects. In the previous lecture, we started discussion on the evolution, dominance, and importance of studying insects. As part 2, in this I will be talking about reasons for dominance of insects. In fact, when we talk about dominance, there are indices to measure the dominance. So these includes number of species. So as we are talking about insects, number of insect species, number of individuals of each species, omnipresence, and their distribution. So I'll take one by one. The first index through which we can measure the dominance is number of insect species. So in the previous lecture, I was telling that insects are around approximately 400 million year old. They actually came into being at around early Devonian period, whereas human being is just 3 million year back. So insects are extremely long-lived and most successful group. The question of animals, how many species, is not new. In fact, Carolus Linnaeus, the father of taxonomy, who published Systema Naturae in the year 1757, where he started following binomial nomenclature, started giving a universal name for all the species which are there on this planet Earth in order to maintain that universality, uniqueness and stability. So his job was to go out and collect whatever the organism which he encounter and give the name. He used to describe that it looks like this and all those things, and he used to name it. So in his 10th edition, he described 4,383 species of animals. Among them, 3,049 were insects, and that means 70% of the animals which he described in that publication are insects alone. It's the best indicator, So he used to go out, whatever he gets, during his expedition, bring it, describe it, and name it. Okay, that's why for so many species, when you pronounce scientific name, next to that, you might have seen Linnaeus, Linnaeus, or L sometime. So that's because of, so if anybody name an organism for the first time, so his name will be ever remembered. So among the 4,383 species of organism which is described, 70% are insects alone. So one of the best indicator to prove the dominance. So after the 1758, so series of taxonomists, not only insect taxonomists, taxonomists who are working in plants and animals, they are actually described number of species. So far 1.8 million life forms have been described so far. So in the previous lecture itself, I told among them 10,15,000 are insects. Okay, so we are out of 18 lakh, 60 to 65% are insects alone. So one of the best indicator to prove the dominance. Is that all? We have only 10,50,000 species or only 18 lakh organism? Are we looking at the tip of iceberg? Is there any undiscovered organism still existing on this planet Earth? Even though so many taxonomies surround the planet, collecting and describing, are we collected all the organisms on the planet Earth? Is there any species which are awaiting to be discovered? Are there more? Okay. So in fact, one of the recent estimates says that there are 8.7 million species are there on this planet Earth. Now, one of the paper published in PLOS Biology says a staggering 86% of all species on land, 91% of those in the seas have yet to be discovered, described, and catalogued. It's not just 18 lakh, 1.8 million. Okay, 8.7 million are there, which needs to be discovered. So only thing, we need more number of taxonomists who go out, collect different organisms and describe, name it. You see here, the data is available till 2009. So in each year, approximately 16 to 19,000 new species are described. All the life forms I'm talking about, total species described. And among them, total insects described constitutes around 8,000 to 9,000. So per year, out of 19,000 described, 8 to 9,000 are insects alone, around 60% again are insects alone. So best indicator to prove the dominance. So there must be much more over there waiting to be discovered. So only thing, the taxonomist should go out, collect it and describe it. One of the opportunity this entomology gives is, if anybody name it, give the nomenclature, binomial nomenclature, say for example, his or her name will be placed next to scientific name so that your name will be ever remembered. So that is an important opportunity the entomology gives. Okay, the second index through which you can measure the dominance is number of individuals of each species. The density of insect species is very high compared to density of any other animals. Okay, for example, you might have seen an ant colony. Outside, you know, on the soil surface, you may find a small hole. If you dig and look for the number of insects, number of individuals, there may be millions inside. Okay, how many individuals of human beings are there on this planet Earth? Homo sapiens, 7 billion. Okay, single ant colony sometimes consists of 2 to 3 billion. Imagine. So 3 colony equal the number of individuals present on this planet Earth. One of the best indicator to prove the dominance. This is one example. Not just ants. Okay, there are so many different species of ants. Like that, there are so many different species of insects. Like say, for example, termites. So these are Odontotromus sebaceous mound, very common in India. If you cut open and count, there are millions of termites inside. Okay, best indicator to prove the dominance. So another example, grasshoppers. Sometimes they become locusts. So locusts means they are actually pests. So sometimes they emerge in so high number that they practically darken the sky. Okay, and they move, and while they're moving, they completely devastate whatever the green vegetation which comes in. They eat each and everything, and thereby they become serious pests. They become sometimes multinational pests. So their emergence has been noticed from North Africa, Middle East, Afghanistan, Pakistan, to till Northwest India, like that. So they become pests. Lot of research is required, but best indicator to prove the dominance. The third point I was making was name a place where insects are not there on this earth. Okay, their distribution. There is no place on this planet Earth where there are no insects. Okay, they are there everywhere. But you may ask sometime that some of the areas are species poor, like Arctic, sea. Yes, there may be very few number existing there, but there are insects there in that place also. But there is no place on this earth where you cannot find the insects. Okay, so best indicator. So these 3 indicators prove that insects are the dominant creatures on this planet Earth. So in order to prove my points, I'll add some more things. Insects are amazing creatures. I said that they are fascinating organisms present on this planet Earth. Because what man can do, insects can do also. And also, what insects can do, man can't do. So I was telling that they are seniors, and human beings cannot have a control over these insects. So I will take the first point, what man can do, insects can do also. Yeah, the first point. So they use tools like man. So we use arms, legs and all those things for performing various tasks. You might have seen this type of wasps, hands carrying many things. So they also use various parts of insects in order to do various tasks. So they also use tools like man. So they also live in houses. You might have seen, what a wonderful structure it is. Just imagine if 5-6 persons are locked up in a home, covering the windows and doors without allowing the entry of oxygen. What happens? You just see millions of termites lives inside a termite mound in their house. How do they respire? The amount of carbon dioxide gets accumulated because of their respiration may be very high. But they do respire. They do require oxygen. They are animals. How do it's possible? Okay, a fantastic information to be obtained for scientific research. Okay, so people are using it already. So can you construct an apartment, an house, which is completely air conditioned without using electrical energy? this information is possible if you understand their life, understand their biology. Like wasps, they do live in houses, their nests, okay, their mound. Yeah, ants as well. So it may look like a small wall outside, but if you see that inside, okay, it's an engineering marvel. Okay, there will be a lot of tunnels inside. There will be, no, how do they clean and all is an information to be learned. They too wear dresses, not just human beings. They do wear dresses, but the purpose for which they wear dress is different. Okay, so especially in order to avoid the attack by the natural enemies. So many of the insects actually construct cases around them so that they are escape from the predation. They too travel long distance, not just human beings who try to perform world tour and all, not just birds which migrates. Insects do migrate. So whenever they find no uncongenial condition in one of the place where they are living, they move to place where there is a congenial condition. So they may come back once again to their original place once the conditions become normal in their original place. So they too travel for long distance. They also play music, just not human beings, other birds play music. So insects do play music, but for different purpose. So they also communicate. In fact, they're important ways of communication. Yeah, probably you are hearing the sound. Yes. Yeah. So their purpose is different. So we will be talking about all these things in the future classes. So each of those species, in fact, sound differently, but purpose is different. Okay, so they have the very well developed communication system. They have got a brilliant communication system. They do dance. Okay, honeybee, for example, they perform two types of dances. One is called round dance and waggle dance. In fact, for the first time, Carl van Frisch, who actually identified this dance, got the Nobel Award. Around 60, 70 years back, there was no well developed equipments and all. He was just sitting and observing what these bees do in their eye. He identified that there is something going on. Based on that, he identified that communication system and what for the dance like that, and he got the Nobel Award. Entomology provides that opportunity so that we can also think of what is this. I think in the childhood we might have seen this type of conical pits. Insects do commit treachery. Okay, kedda anta heltivi or draha matlab. Okay, so you might have seen this type of small insects. They perform construct this type of conical pits. So if you put an ant inside, you'll see the small grub box will comes in and it captures the ant. This is called ant lion. You can see that the grub size is just around half a centimeter or so, but it metamorphosized into a well-developed adult. Okay, measures 3 to 4 centimeter. So they have a very different mechanism of growth. We'll be discussing all those things. They commit treachery. They have they are the masters of camouflage. We really have to search for the insect here. So they look like twig in order to escape from the predation or parasitism. You can see these insects look like petals. This insect look like grasshopper. See this leaf insect, it look like leaf. So they camouflage, thereby the predators or parasites completely unable to identify this, thereby they escape from the predation. So these are one of the the fantastic insect we have in the Western Ghats. I think everybody has seen this type of insects carrying the mud balls. But have you ever thought that why these insects carry like this? Okay, so they in fact carry that, the mud ball, and the dung ball especially, and they dig to a depth of about 5 to 10 centimeter with the help of 4 legs which are modified for digging purpose. And they go to about 5 to 10 centimeter, and there they place the dung and they place its eggs inside. You might have seen, you have seen these eggs. And once the grub hatches inside, the egg hatches inside, immediately they get the food. So that means they have the parental care mechanism as well. What humans do, insects can also do. So the grubs cannot, the grubs do not have the ability to go out in search of food. So adults will do that. So they have that mechanism of parental care. They care the young ones. They also use chemical weapons. So they have very well developed glands, so that if any predator or parasite try to attack, they direct their secretions towards the enemies, so that they avoid the predation, like this. So you see that this beetle is actually directing its secretion towards the ant, which the ant is actually trying to attack it. So thereby it actually defend itself. Very good example. If anybody, and you might have experienced this problem. Okay, so if you try to steal the honey, this is the fate you will experience. So they have got very well developed defensive mechanism. They also produce pheromone. So they live in natural environment. There are mobile phones to communicate, right? So say for example, a male is there in Delhi, a female is there in Bangalore. How do they mate? How do they come in contact and they able to reproduce? That's actually because of the pheromone system, which is very well developed. Either male will secrete the pheromone or female will secrete the pheromone. So that actually spreads in the air, so that they're able to sense that there is a male or female that side. So they start moving and they mate. So similarly, you might have seen this type of ants. They always maintain that trail, same line. That's actually because of the pheromone which they produce. Okay, so this pheromone system is very well developed in case of insects. So those are the few points to prove that what man can do, insects can do also. But the second very important point, what insects can do, man can't do. Can you walk on water surface? Not possible, right? So by utilizing the surface tension, in fact, many of the insects can float, okay, can swim on the water surface. So that's actually possible for many of the insect species. Human being can't do. Can you live in soil? Impossible. Many insect species are highly dominant in soil. Okay, so if you take just 10 gram and count the number of insects which you encounter, which you collected in 10 gram of soil, maybe hundreds of insects inside. And they get into an environment where there are no competitors, the best place. Okay, your air. No other organism can survive there. So they have adapted to that particular environment, okay, so that there is no competitor for that. So the places not exploited by any other organism, these insects have exploited. And their size is so small, and some of the insect size is so big. Okay, so small has got no survival advantage, because they can escape easily from the predator, and small food is enough for survival. And sometimes they're too big that whenever the food is available in plenty, so they'll exploit more. So that is the variation in the size, another important reason for dominance. And many of the species are social insects, okay, like honeybees. In fact, honeybee life is lesson for anybody. Okay, so there is a caste system there. So there will be a worker, there will be a queen, there will be drone, they are males. And each of those perform the functions, important functions, separate functions. And they, in fact, thrive hard in order to develop the colony. Okay, their main job is to work for the growth of the colony, development of the colony. But what human beings will do? If anybody, if 10 persons are living in a home, always one person will be looking for leg pulling other person. Okay, and there will be an apathy, there will be a betrayal. So that's why I was telling that honeybee's lesson, honeybee's life itself is a lesson for anybody. Okay, be like a bee, people say. So another point is that produce light without heat. Insects produce light without heat, right? So whatever the bulbs and all we have produced, they produce a lot of heat. Okay, many insect species in fact produce light without heat. That's called bioluminescence. How do they produce the light? Okay, important lesson to be learned. If we are able to understand the process through which they produce the light, okay, there is a possibility to use for the well-being of human beings. Okay, or if anybody come out with a wonderful technology through which you will produce a light without heat, there will be a Nobel Prize waiting for you. Carry loads of many times heavier than the weight of their own. Okay, so you might have seen an ant carrying the 10 times more weight than what actually it weighs. How much we can carry? Maybe double maximum. Only those who have the experience. Eat each and every natural organic material. Okay, name any organic material. Okay, any plant part, any animal part, there will be an insect part, insect feeder for that. Okay, so name anything organic and you have an insect feeder for that. They eat and survive, depending on any of the natural organic material. So that is one of the best indicator or the important way through which they survive. That has got a lot of survival advantage. And very importantly, speciation is much faster. Okay, so why these many number of species are there? 10,50,000 species of insects are there. Among them, we say that 3 lakh are beetles. No, there was a biologist called Alden. He said that God had inordinate fondness for beetles. Okay, God did not create the species. Okay, so evolution is actually creating the species. So if, say for example, if there is a species of insect, if they separate on two different wosts, okay, one on mango and one on paddy, for example, after several generations, okay, after several generations, they may become different species. Okay, what is species? Species are group of interbreeding individuals which have reproductively isolated from other groups, other individuals. So there should not be any intercrossing or intermating between two different species. So once they get separated, even if they come together, they don't mate. It become different species. It may take 100 years or 1,000 years. We don't know what exactly happening in the nature, but that speciation process is very fast. So that is one of the best reason to prove their dominance. That's why they become dominant. So in this talk, I spoke about insects dominate in terms of number and their distribution. They does most of the tasks like human beings, exploited all sorts of environment. Insect does many tasks which human beings can't do. Although highly resilient, speciate at much faster rate. In fact, history pages says that insects have adapted to all sorts of environment and they have the ability to innovate and adapt to the changing climate. And as a result of that, you'll find so many species of insects on this planet Earth. So that's why they are dominant. Hope you agree that among the organisms which are there on this planet Earth, insects are the dominant creatures on this planet Earth. I proved that. Thank you. If there are any specific questions, you can post below or you can email as well. Thank you. Thank you very much.